Patrick Lee at ptlarts.com. Hi, relationships. I'm going to talk about relating to success, happiness. So what is success and what is happiness in relation to art as a business? To look at these and talk about mindset again, having another look at mindset, constantly have to keep relating to mindset about your positioning in the world, or my positioning in the world. I have to constantly look at it, because the programming from tiny tot to like now 60, I have to look at it a lot because it's deeply ingrained stuff that I am still just beginning to understand. So what is success, or even what is happiness? A lot of the economic growth model wonderfully embraces the idea that success and happiness exist in the same place, and that it's not where failure and misery is. In other words, if you've got things are going wrong and you keep messing up, that isn't success, and that's not happiness. It's not where it is. You've got to stop being who you are and be somebody else. Well, it's not really the truth. The truth, in other words, what I'm saying is the economic growth model is like feeds on that. In other words, like you need to have more of something to be successful, or you need this, you need that. So consequently, it's based on like you wanting to spend more money to become happy, and consequently you need to be more successful to have more money to become happy. It's a strong message that is driven into our subconscious at such an early age. Then I guess we imagine that successful is being strong-minded and sticking to your plans and being hard-faced emotionally. That's a strong, for a man, it's a strong man is like never cries. It's always there. So sticking to your plans. Some of us are naturally built with these qualities, and indeed can have an element of success, and in fact quite a lot of success, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're happy, does it? So is happiness important? When we start to see that our own fulfillment is the purpose of living rather than a self-gratifying act, our perspective begins to shift. The key to happiness is understanding what it might look like and recognizing that to be true, it will invariably involve other people. Indeed, happiness is now being measured as an international parameter to validate nations. In fact, some nations look towards their happiness measurement rather than their GDPR, rather than their financial standing in the world. It's interesting that the highest marker in these reports and all over the globe are about relationships with other people, albeit they're close relatives or friends. Still, this is an important point, and why it is so vital in how we develop our lives. The indicators are strong for creating value for others. Surely this is a cause for building a foundation of happiness in our own lives as well. If we start to view an arts practice, an arts business in this way, that all the barriers that get in our way to building these things start to lose their efficacy. In other words, we start to break through. Back to content for like our building up our business. As you see from this argument, the process of creating or giving value to others is a crucial key to our happiness. In other words, the value we give unconditionally will naturally return to us. In my experience, this can manifest itself as a deeper understanding of my relationship with the bigger picture of the universe. is continuing to support me, when my intention is to create value for others through my efforts. In business, at some point, the exchange of money as an energy will be able to take place. But if this is the sole intention, then I believe the place of happiness in the formula will become absent. On the other hand, without some exchange of money, the expansion needed to create more value for more people becomes more difficult. This leads to the question of money and happiness, doesn't it? Money can give you more choice. I can say, because this is surely dependent on the relationship that you have with this energy. I'm still working on this relationship. We can be programmed from an early age, like I said before, that money is more or less important than it really is. It becomes necessary if we haven't got it. At the same time, having a lot of it can be equally distressing for some. So selling art as a business covers all of these paradoxes, doesn't it? We have the value for ourselves manifested in our art and the way that we feel about it, even to the point where, the painting is us, or the piece of art is a manifestation of us. So like how we feel about it is how we feel about ourselves, isn't it? Then we have our deepest reality within our own reaction to relating to others. So the way that we talk to others about our work, about etc., again draws up this deep either arrogance or lack of self-esteem, whatever it is. In fact, the arrogance is just as much lack of self-esteem as if we're really cow-toed. We don't value what we're doing. It's the same. It's arrogance in a sense. So to find this balance is like our challenge, isn't it? But I think that balance is actually manifests itself in the rest of our life as helping us to evaluate and grow our own happiness. So finally, the exchange of value in the sense of money, energy. I keep coming back to this conversation so that I can become clear about where I am with all of these relationships. These are all part of my happiness, but also tools to enable me to create value for others. So it's interesting, isn't it? So if you like my serious tones, debates, and you've got any more points, that you'd like to throw in, any comments, if you'd like to talk more about it. I think this whole thing of our mindset and our place in the world is important for our happiness, and our happiness is important for our success, but it doesn't come somewhere different. It doesn't exist somewhere where we haven't got problems, and it doesn't exist somewhere where we don't fail. We don't have failure. So success is born of a succession of failures leads to success. So it's all encouragement, really. So thank you very much. Thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks very much.